Foolishness, y'all. I'm done. I've had enough. How many of you have actually said that? How many times have you gotten to your point? Have you reached your breaking point and you've just said, that's it, I'm done. Like finished, over with. There is no more. I have reached my limit. I will not, that's it. The breaking point is there. It's Crystal Fry, your personal identity coach, and that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. I want to talk to you about what happens when you finally reach your breaking point. When you've reached that limit and you decide you're done, what happens? What happens next? I want you to think about what kind of emotion comes up when you get to that point of you're done, of you've had enough. What kind of emotions come up? I'm going to share what they are for me. Go ahead and drop down in the comments here what emotions come up for you when you reach the point where you've had enough and you're just done. For me, I'm angry. I am very angry usually by the time I get to the point where I've had enough. I do not want to handle anything else. Okay? My threshold has been crossed. There is a barrier wall that goes up, and I no longer listen. I don't listen to the people that I'm done with. I don't have anything to do with the situation that I'm done with. I have essentially created a wall for myself. Now, I have learned how to prevent myself from reaching that point in a lot of cases, not all the time. So for you, what is it? What happens when you reach that breaking point? And you guys, I had to stand up tonight because I absolutely love my t-shirt here. I just got it tonight. My hair is up because we had karate out in the park tonight. And so it was all a sweaty mess. And y'all, I love you, but I'm done trying to pretend that I'm something I'm not, right? Which is what you should be too. So instead of being all worried about having my hair perfect and everything else, guess what? It's in a ponytail. You guys will all be all right because the message is the same. Doesn't matter what I look like. So I'm talking to you tonight about what happens when you are done, when you've had enough. And for those of you who are watching live, go ahead and drop a comment and say hello so I can say hello back to you. Share this out, tag a friend, start a watch party, because seriously, you guys, there are so many people who are walking around in some fake aspect, okay? Whether it's, how they put themselves out for others, whether it's pretending to like things that they don't like so that people will like them. Listen, I get it. I was one of those people too. And you reach a point where you're done because you realize that all of that stuff is foolishness. It's all foolishness. If you are walking around and you are pretending to be something that you are not so that other people will like you, you are robbing yourself of your own life. Did you hear me? When you are pretending to be someone else so that all of the people out there will like you, what does that do for you? What do you get out of that? People like you. Okay, great. But guess what? They don't actually like you. They like what you are pretending to be. There is a massive difference there. There's a massive difference between someone liking you for who you are because they know who you are, because you are being authentic, because you are being your true self and they like what they see. There's a huge difference between that and somebody liking you because what you are pretending to be. Because if they like you for what you're pretending to be, they don't like you. And that's not a real relationship. That's not a real connection. That is not what the goal is. That's not what the goal is. Oh, Andrea, see, I am so happy to see you tonight, honey. I have missed you and I am so glad to see you. But seriously, you guys, when you reach your breaking point, okay, and that happened to me a while back. I reached my breaking point. And it's funny because I'm actually at a new breaking point now. And we won't talk about that tonight, but when I reached that breaking point where that was it, I was done, all of the things that I was done with, I got mad. And for me, that spurs me on, right? My husband, love him dearly. He knows how to push my buttons and he knows how to get underneath my skin. And he knows, like, guys, we've been married for a long time. Okay. We've been married for 18 years. He knows the buttons to push that will either propel me forward or shut me down. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in, and it depends on the topic. But man, when he knows that I want to do something, but I'm hesitating and I'm not quite ready to reach over that, but he knows that I want to do it, he will push me. Okay. And he will push me to the point where I get angry about it, because when I'm angry, I will take action. Now, years ago, I would have taken action that was probably not a good idea. However, I have learned how to channel that in to taking direct action and get me exactly where it is that I want to be, so that I don't have to be done, so that I don't have to be frustrated, so that I don't have to be what everybody thinks that I should be. Because guess what? I am enough. And so are you. Who you are is enough. Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are, or are you still walking around as that person that you're pretending to be so that all your fake friends will like you? And listen, yes, I am fired up tonight because you guys, this has been on my heart for the last 2 weeks, really hard this past week, but for the last 2 weeks, this whole thought and the people that I keep seeing, you guys, I had to take a break from Facebook for 24 hours. I had to, because as I was going up and down my timeline, there was just so much of it, and it was so heavy on me. I had to get away from it because I'm so tired of seeing people who are just fake, who are not their authentic selves. And you know why they're not their authentic selves? Because they don't even know who their authentic self is. It's hard to be someone when you don't know who that is. It's hard to be you when you don't know who you is. Right? I mean, come on, if you disagree with me, that's fine too. I am totally open for a discussion, but I'm pouring my heart out to you tonight because seriously, you guys, we gotta stop being all of these things for all of these people. What does that get you? What does it get you? Does it get you a better life? Are you happy living in a shell of the person that you really were meant to be? Is that how you want to spend your one and only life here on this planet? Is that what you want to do? Do you want to get to the end of your life and be like, oh, I'm so glad that I never figured out who I was. I'm so glad that I made so many other people being a boxed Barbie doll for everyone else. I'm so glad I made them happy. Is that what you're looking for? Or do you want to get to the end of your life and be like, you know what? This was awesome. This was an awesome ride. I lived to my fullest as my true self. I did what made me happy, and I was able to bring joy to other people around me. You know why you can do that? Because when you are happy with who you are, when that comes up from within you, you pour that out onto other people. You pour that out onto other people. Andrea, see, I'm going to step on toes tonight. You know I'm going to, because that's just how it is. And I say it with love. Oh my God, I say it with all the love in my heart because I know what that feels like. It sucks. It's a crappy place to be. You guys, I was the shelf box Barbie for a really long time. I was the mom who could bake all the cookies, and I was the person at church who would be there every single time the doors were open. And I was the person who would do anything for you. All you had to do was ask. Didn't matter what I was doing, right? Didn't matter what I had ongoing in my life. Your needs are more important than mine. And you guys, I'm not saying that, oh, you just get rid of all of these things. No, you set healthy boundaries. You can still help and serve others while you are fulfilling your life. You guys, we are called to serve and to love one another. That's why we're here. We are here to love and serve one another. And you absolutely can do that. You do not have to do it to your own detriment and at all of your own expense. So there are some things that I want you to be done with. Okay? There are some things that I want you to be done with, because that's really what it's about. You have to reach that point of being done. You've got to reach that threshold, and then you have to determine what you're going to do about it. So, number one, I want you to be done pretending that you're something you're not. I'm not talking about, pulling up, the phrase fake it till you make it kind of gets, there's some for, some against. All right. You use it if it makes you happy. You use it if that's what works for you. But fake it till you make it doesn't mean you start pretending you're something you're not. You can start looking at the things that you want in your life, the people that you would like to be like. What attributes do they have? Maybe they have more confidence. Well, how do they have more confidence? Well, maybe they walk a little taller with their shoulders back. You can walk a little taller with your shoulders back. That actually will give you more confidence. If you shift your body in certain ways, it actually triggers your mind to do some interesting things and bring your confidence level up. We can talk about that more on another live, but it's really interesting. But fake it till you make it, or trying to do things that people ahead of you who are further in the journey than you are, trying to emulate them because they're on the path you want to be on, right? They're showing up the way you want to show up. It's okay to learn from them. It's okay to, ask them, talk to them. What do you do? What do you do when you're in this situation? I want to figure it out. That's not pretending to be something you're not. That's you taking the opportunity to learn and grow so that you can step into that path that you want to be in. So that's the first thing that I want you to be done with, is I want you to be done pretending to be something that you are not, okay? The world has enough pretenders. My coach, Rashonda Pratt, calls them Facebook fakers and Periscope phonies, I think. So we have enough of those. Stop pretending to be something you're not. Just be you. That's what we all want to see. We want to see you. Second thing I want you to be done with. I want you to be done putting everyone and everything else first. That doesn't mean that you stop serving. That doesn't mean that you stop doing the things, to help other people. It means that you prioritize yourself in your own life. That's what that means. You stop taking everything else and putting it in front of your needs, okay? Because you know what happens, and I talked about this earlier, but you know what happens when you put everything else first? There's nothing left for you. Nothing. Again, can attest to that. Been there, done that, sucked really bad. When you put everything else and everyone else first, there's nothing left for you. So I want you to be done with that. And I want you to start prioritizing you in your own life. Okay? The next thing that I want you to be done with, give it up. I want you to be done with it. Stop defining yourself, your value and your self-worth by your roles in life. What do I mean by that? Your roles in life: wife, mom, CEO, secretary, astronaut, your job, your career, your relationships, your family, all of these things that you do, right? All of these roles that you play, all of these titles that you have for yourself. Yes, they are part of you. Yes, they absolutely are. They are not you. They're part of you. They're not you. You is what happens when you take all the rest of that stuff away. Okay? So I want you to stop defining yourself by your roles in life, because when you define yourselves by your roles in life, what happens is that you lose your identity while you are busy defining yourself by the roles in your life. You lose your identity. Who are you without all those other things? So I want you to be done with defining yourself as if that's all you are, because you are more than that. You are more than a wife. You are more than a mom. You are more than a sister. You are more than a caregiver. You are more than whatever your job is. You are more, and you have more value than that. Just you. You are more. The next thing that I want you to be done with tonight. Tonight we are talking about things that I would love to see everyone be done with. Things that I am done with, things I want you to be done with, so that you can, so that you can show up as your fully authentic self and live a wonderful, beautiful, happy life. So the next thing, I want you to stop defining yourself by other people's opinions. Other people's opinions are just that. They're opinions. You have opinions too. Do you know what happens when you spend all of your time judging yourself based on what somebody else thinks? For one, let's set the record straight. You're totally and completely wrong, because 99.9% of the rest of the people in the world aren't thinking about you. They aren't. You know what they're thinking about? They're thinking about themselves. But I mean, people have done studies on this. We spend so much time, and again, speaking from my heart, speaking from my truth, we spend so much time being so worried and so consumed and so, I mean, just fraught with anxiety over what other people are going to think about us. And the truth is, they're not even thinking about us. Do you know how much time we waste being concerned with what other people think, and they don't even think about us? They're not even worried about it. All those things we get all uptight and concerned about, nobody notices but us. Because we're always so self-critical, right? And look, I've been there. I know. I'm still very self-critical, very self-critical. But I've learned how to critique myself without beating myself up. I've learned how to pay attention and watch the cues around me and listen to my own cues, my own intuition, my own spirit, my own thoughts, my own voice, and value that way above that of the opinions of others. You guys, my whole life was ruled by other people's opinions at one point. That's all I could think about. Every single decision that I made. There were so many other people's opinions that came into it before I actually made a decision. You guys, it's debilitating. It's debilitating. It kills your value. It kills your self-worth. It kills your self-image and how you see yourself. Because you're never going to live up to your perceived expectations that other people have. And they don't even have those. I promise they don't. Even if someone might look at you for 20 seconds and make some kind of comment or some kind of thought inside their head, you know what happens next? They don't remember that. They forget all about that. You know why? Because again, they're focused on them, not on you. So stop defining yourself by other people's opinions. I want you to be done with that. The next thing that I want you to be done with, I got 2 more. The next thing that I want you to be done with, and this is in line with that, I want you to stop trying to live up to other people's expectations of your life. Did you hear me? Stop trying to live up to other people's expectations of your life. You guys, I stress this so much because this was a huge, rude awakening for me. Okay, this was a huge, rude awakening for me. Hey, my friend Cheryl Snell, it is so good to see you, sweetheart. I mean, it was such a huge thing for me to realize that other people don't get to make that decision in my life. If I'm not living up to their expectations, what are their expectations in the first place? And why am I allowing those to have any meaning in my life? Are they living up to their expectations? And that was a real big one for me. Yes, Andrea, it does give you wrinkles. It absolutely does. All that worry gives you wrinkles. I have one right here. I can't even deal with it. It is what it is. So, and that's the thing. Other people's expectations have no right in the grand scheme of trying to shape your life. Now, when you're kids and you're growing up, we try to live up to our parents' expectations, right? And listen, parents, we're doing the best that we can for our kids. The more we learn and the more we can teach our kids to be individuals and do the things that it is, that they love and they're passionate about, the better off our kids are going to be, okay? But here's the deal. Once you become an adult and you realize that, oh, hey, this is my life, right? Once you become an adult and you are making your own decisions and your own choices, other people's expectations can't be the bar. Your expectations for yourself, and please, side note, make sure they're healthy. Your expectations for yourself have to be the bar. I told you guys a few minutes ago, I'm still very self-critical, but I know what I'm capable of. And I'm not setting expectations that are outside of reach. I am not setting expectations that I can totally and completely take an engine apart and put it back together. Listen, I have full confidence in my ability to 100% take an engine apart bit by bit. I've worked on enough engines with my husband. I can take it all apart. There's no way in the world I'd be able to put it all the way together. I'm not going to put that on myself. I hope you take it apart. Hope you watch it. Hope you take pictures so you can put it back together, right? Understand what your expectations are for your life. Make sure that they are healthy. Make sure that you are not setting yourself up for failure, okay? Do not put yourself in places Now, I'm not saying don't stretch, because you absolutely need to stretch. Do not put yourself in places where you don't belong. Do not put yourself in places where you are not positioned to be there. Okay? And that's, I mean, seriously, do not put yourself in those positions. Yes, I hate that phrase too, Andrea C. I expected you to. You expected what? Did you do that? Did you meet your own expectations? Then why did you expect that of me? If you're not holding yourself to that standard, don't come at me with the standard. Do not try to hold me to a higher standard than you hold yourself. That burns me. That burns me. All right, the last one. The last thing that I want you to be done with. Okay, say it with me. I am done not being myself. Done. I'm done pretending. I am done being a faker. I am done not being myself. Because that is the biggest thing, you guys. That is the biggest thing. This is your only life. I cannot say that enough. And you guys, when I come on here and I am like fired up and passionate about things like I am tonight, I will guarantee you it's because I've had my own moment either during the day or during the week. I've had my own moment with this where I've had to reach a point and say, you know what? No, ma'am, we're done. Done. And this week, like I said, it's just been on my heart heavy this week. And it was there last week too, but it was, pushing heavy this week for people to finally reach a point where they are done with all of these things. All right. We talked about pretending, done pretending that you're something you're not. We talked about putting everyone else first. We talked about putting everything else first before you, not prioritizing yourself. We talked about defining yourselves by other people's opinions. We talked about living up to other people's expectations, and the granddaddy of them all, not being you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you take nothing else away from tonight other than the fact that I have on an awesome t-shirt tonight, take this away. You are the only you there is, and you are the only you there ever will be. So please, please, please do not waste your life trying to be someone else. Listen, everyone else is already taken, okay? You might as well be you. Everyone else is already taken. So, earlier today, Andrea, I got to tell you, I was on the phone with a girlfriend of mine, and I was having a moment. I was done about something else. It wasn't about this time. I was done about something else. And she was like, "Oh, girl." She's like, "You need a drink." She's like, "Go get you a bottle of wine. I know you got one somewhere." I was like, "Oh, no. I was like, I got karate tonight. I'll be fine." There's my outlet right there. And it worked. Okay. So, all right. So here's the next thing. If you have decided that you indeed are done, you're done, you're fed up, what do I do now? Well, call me. Seriously, call me. If you need help, because that's where we get stuck. I'm done. Now I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do now that I'm done. Call me. Put some time on my calendar. Let's have a strategy session. Let's talk about where you are right now because you're done. What are you done with? And now where do you want to go? What does it look like for you? Have you imagined? Have you taken the time to visualize what your ideal day looks like? Do you know what it looks like? And I mean, really think it through. I mean, from the smell of your coffee, if you're a coffee drinker, y'all, I'm a coffee drinker. I love my coffee. Smell of the coffee. How's it feel to go out, get the paper? I don't know. I don't get the paper. But how does it feel? What do you do? Do you get up and go to a job? Do you get up and go into your office in your home? Do you get up and spend time with your grandkids? Do you get up and get your kids ready for school? Do you get up and have breakfast with your family? What do you do? What do you do through the day? Do you go work out? Do you meditate? Do you sit down and write another book? Do you sit down to write your 4th bestseller? What do you do? What does it look like for you? The more you can visualize and put the details in it to where you can hear it and smell it and feel it and taste it, the more it's going to pull at you, because all that stuff comes from within inside you. When you sit down to do this visualization exercise, all of those things come from within inside you. And they're put there for a reason. Okay? They're put there for a reason. Andrea, thank you. I love you, honey. But seriously, I'm not playing with this. I'm really not. I spent way too much of my life being in a place where I was all of those things I just told you to be done with. Pretending, putting everything else first, all of those things. I spent way too much of my time, of my life, wasting, doing all of those things, not being me. And I see so many other women who are doing it. And y'all, I need you to be done with that. Because you know what the world needs? It needs you, not your pretender. It needs you. So if you're at that point, if you've reached your threshold and you're done and now you want to know what to do next, here it is right here at the bottom. Schedule a complimentary strategy session with me. Get on my calendar. It's 30 minutes, does not cost you a thing. It is an opportunity for us to talk about where you are and where you want to go. And then how can we get you there? That's what it's all about. There's no obligation to you. It's a phone call, you guys. It's a phone call. That's it. And I'm pretty fun to talk to on the phone, right? Anyway, so you guys, thank you so much for hanging in here with me. For those of you who are joining live now, go back and watch the replay on this because this one is really good. I know I say that, but seriously, you guys, this one's really good. Y'all, I got the ponytail up. That means it's business. So go back and watch the replay. Drop your comments, drop your thoughts. Thank you all so much for being here with me tonight. I love you from the bottom of my heart. And I say this to you all the time. I want to see you win. I want to see you win. Because when you win, I win. And seriously, like I want to win. I mean, that's just it. I love that. Stop grasping at bubbles. I love that. So thank you, Cheryl. Love you. So, you know, you guys, it's not rocket science. It feels like it. It feels like it, but it's not. And let me tell you what, if you're sitting there trying to figure this stuff out on your own, again, been there, it's painful. Y'all, it's painful to try to figure this stuff out on your own because you know why? You've never been there. It's really hard to figure out how to get to a place you've never been to before. That's why you need someone to help guide you along the way. You need someone to light the path. And that's what I do. I light the path because I've already been there. I've been there. I've done that. I spent a whole lot of years being miserable about it. A whole lot of years being miserable about it. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you. I want to save you the time and the pain that I went through because I want you to get there faster. Because guess what? It's awesome on the other side. It's awesome. It's absolutely fantastic. Y'all, I love my life. And at one point, and there's still stuff I want to do. There's still a lot left for me. At one point, I couldn't say that. I loved the people around me. I loved my family. I loved my friends. I loved my work. I didn't really love me, though. Didn't really love my life. You know why? Because it wasn't mine. It was somebody else's that I had put on. It was a mask. It was a pretender. It was what I thought everybody else wanted to see. That's just not a fun place to be. So I'm going to close. Thank you all so much for being here with me tonight. Again, right down here at the bottom, please, if this has been impactful for you, if this has resonated with you, do me a favor, like, love, share this video out, tag someone, start a watch party because, y'all, there's a lot of people who need to see this. There really is. And you don't have to tell them like, oh, I'm going to tag you because you need to watch this. You can just be like, oh, y'all, this girl has on a cute t-shirt. Watch her. Sometimes we have to, scoop people in. And it's true. I do have on a cute t-shirt, right? So, all right, guys, that is all I have for you tonight. I am going to go and go drink some more coffee and go to bed. So I will see you all again later. Thank you all so much for being here with me tonight. Take care.